I guess I'll just go through the list. So first off, we got the Orbital 120 mm HE Barrage. It's ineffective due to its low damage and wide space in between strikes. That's going to be F. Ballistic Shield Backpack. Now, this limits weapon use and offers protection from only one direction. F. Laser Cannon. This lacks sufficient damage to be worth the investment. F. SOS. F. And if you should know why the SOS is F. Eagle Strafe and Run. E. Precision Strike. E. The smoke from both Eagle and the Orbital, I'm sorry. It's just temporary cover. I mean, it could be good for stealth strategies, but it's not practical. Like, you could just get, like, I don't know, like a increased radar if you want to be, like, more stealthy. The Orbital EMS Strike. Now, this slows enemies over a large area, but is hampered by a lengthy cooldown. The mortar is just far more superior. That's a E. Orbital Gas. I was going to give it a E, but I'm going to give it a F. I'm sorry. That's just... No. No need to explain. The Orbital Airburst Strike. Now, this targets light enemies in a small area with rapid strikes. Now, it looks visually appealing. It just doesn't affect objectives. The strikes are too quick. I'll give it a E. The Orbital 380mm HE Barrage. To me, it's just very similar to the 120mm HE Barrage. I'm going to also put that as an F. So, like, it just doesn't hit the areas that I need it to hit. If this was targeted more, I would probably give it a C or a B. But it's just far too spread to actually hit the target that I want it to hit. Orbital Walk-in Barrage. Now, at least this one, I can tell where it's going. But it suffers from a long cooldown, and it also does avoid the targets that I want hit. So I'm going to give it an E. The Eagle 110mm rocket pods. Now, if you use these, you have noticed that sometimes it just misses the target. Even if the beam is closest to the large enemy and it promises to hit, and that girl says an eagle never misses her strike, she is fucking lying, because this 120mm rocket pods 100% is a miss. I think that's what the 110 stands for. 110% miss. I'm sorry. It just makes me so mad. Anyways, moving on, we got the shield generator relay. Now, it provides a stationary shield bubble, which looks impressive, but offers limited utility. It just gets overshadowed by the backpack version of it. It's pretty flimsy, too. The arc thrower, it can stun larger enemies, but has a just really low damage output. Shit. I'm not even going to put that at E. I'm going to put that as a F. That was being too generous. Now, the guard dog, it's weak compared to the laser version of it, so I'm going to give it an E. It just lacks that armor penetration. The rocket sentry, it does not do enough damage to be an effective turret. I'm going to put that as an E. Machine gun sentry. Nah. That's an F. It just gets overshadowed by the Gatlin. So, that's an F for me. We're going to do the Tesla Tower, because it's next. Now, this creates a zone that repels most enemies, but it can harm your teammates, even yourself, pretty easily. And it's not effective against the heavy units. Although it does have the stunning effect, the units just come up and destroy it anyway. I'll give it an E. It does do damage to the little guys pretty well. The flamethrower is great for doing quick damage to the small enemies, but I overlooked the spear. continuing on with the flamethrower, I, I'll probably put D. Yeah, I'll put D. That's fine. It just like it sets an area ablaze, and then the big enemies are just on fire. That's it. It feels like it barely does damage to them. I'm hitting them with like a nerf flamethrower, even if that's possible, like a match or something. The spear, I'll give it a D. It's good if you have teammates that'll help you with it, but the ammunition is just, there's not a lot of ammunition. The orbital Gatling barrage. Now this unleashes a good amount of firepower in a small area, and it is effective against medium armor targets. So I'll give this a D. The stalwart. I think it's a lesser version of the machine gun. A lot of people prefer this one, but if you realize the machine gun actually does more damage, although the stalwart has a quick reload. I'll give it a D. Incendiary mines. Now, it's good at denying the area. I'm gonna put both mines in D. It's good at covering an area, but I would like to say communicate with this to your teammates that you're gonna drop some mines. Clearly, they're supposed to see it, but they never look down, right? They never look down. So just let them know it does do effective damage. The HMG emplacement, I'll give it an E. The reason I'm saying this is because, like, you could put down an actual turret, and the turret can do damage, and you could do damage. I think that's more firepower than an HMG emplacement. The anti-material rifle. What is there to say? It's just less effective compared to the railgun, although it does do damage. It's just not as effective. The Gatling sentry, that's going to be D. Very effective against unarmored targets, but it just struggles with the armored ones. I'm pretty sure you've seen the blue flicker off the behemoth. I'm sorry, that's Helldivers OG name. What is it called? The Charger? Supply pack. Now, I would say the supply pack is great for grenade launch users, but it just gets overshadowed by the shield generator pack. I'll put it as D. Jump pack, it offers mobility, and if you want some fun, I mean, it is pretty fun, I'm not gonna lie. You can get into nice places with the easy back shots too. That came out weird. Alright, jump pack, that's gonna go into the D. Guard dog rover. Now, it's a good stratagem that can clear smaller enemies while you focus on the bigger threats. The downside is it just lacks armor penetration, so yeah, I'll just put it in D. Machine gun. It's great for early levels, but you will notice in the higher difficulties, it's just not that useful. I'll put it in C. Actually, I think I'm being harsh on these. I'll put these guys in C. I'm being pretty harsh. Alright, the Eagle Napalm Strike. Even the Gatling. Like, I think I'm being pretty harsh. Yeah, I think that's good. The Eagle Napalm Strike, I'll give it C. It creates a fire zone that damages small and larger enemies, but it's not really effective for the objectives, so put that into C. Orbital Rail Cannon Strike. It's best used against a single target, single strong targets, but it suffers from a high cooldown, and it doesn't really it doesn't kill. Sometimes it just doesn't kill. You have to finish it off. So I'm gonna put that under, I'll put it under B because at least it breaks the armor, you know? Sometimes it kills. Recoilless rifle, very powerful. It's effective. It's best used with teammates, that's for sure. And it has high ammo consumption. I'll put that under B. The autocannon. Man, oh man. Now, this thing has long range, and if you place it correctly, it definitely supports your team. I'll put that under B. Eagle Cluster Bomb. As you notice, this is the stratagem that kills you often. Yourself, your teammates, it gets the job done. It clears a large group of enemies, but it definitely kills you. 500 kg bomb. Now, you can get more uses out of this than the orbital laser. Like, you can destroy, like, structures. You can get it faster than the orbital laser. Because I think the orbital laser's cooldown is like 300 seconds, right? That's a long time. And compared to the 500 kg bomb, if you level up the hangar under the ship modules, you can get 2 of them. It comes back after 2 minutes 30 seconds. Boom. Literally. I'm gonna put that under A. Now, I was just talking smack about the orbital laser, but I would also put that in A as well. Now, it can target and eliminate multiple enemies, even objectives, but it's limited to like 3 uses, if I remember correctly. The cooldown is just too large. And I've had times where it just doesn't go for the biggest target that I want it to get. It would go for the little guys. The grenade launcher and the autocannon, to me, they're just basically the same thing with different projectiles. Now, one is great for clearing out nests. The autocannon is more efficient. Actually, no, they're both good at clearing out enemy nests. But I think the autocannon is more ammo efficient. If you're using the grenade launcher, it will be just as good as using the autocannon if you have the supply pack. So I'll put this under A. The EMS mortar and the mortar. Now, these sentries are phenomenal. They're great. Now, the EMS slows down enemies a lot better than the orbital EMS. Because at least this one keeps on giving you that crowd control. You can actually get your shit together, right? The mortar sentry, just put it in that right spot. Extremely powerful. Just let your teammates know that there's a mortar sentry out, because sometimes there's mobs that'll chase after them. It'll probably blow them up. Even you, if you're not even careful. The expendable, it's called the expendable, right? Anti-tank. Now, it's perfect for taking down large enemies. For example, the dropship. Now, this thing, if you just shoot the little thruster of the dropship on the automatons, it'll just drop the ship. I would say if you're running automaton related missions, please have 2 people run the expendable anti-tank. You would just drop the dropships, no pun intended. They would just die easily. Railgun. This is probably the best support stratagem, in the game. I think it's essential to have it. It does heavy damage to armored units. I would say at least have 1 person on the team with it. I'll give it a S tier. What is this called? Eagle Airstrike, I believe. It's quick, it's accurate, wide damage radius. The airstrike can destroy objectives, wipe out enemies quickly. I think it's just too useful to pass up. I say you take it for most of the missions. That's an S tier for me. The shield generator pack. I think this is the most versatile pack. It works on all maps, against all enemies. It protects you from stuns, missiles. It just boosts your survival chances. I think it's an essential tool, especially when combined with like light body armor. Light body armor gives you that movement speed. Shield generator pack gives you that protection. I think it's a perfect combo. That's a S tier. And these last 2, obviously resupply is a S tier. Reinforcement is a S tier. So this is our tier list, guys. Let me know what you guys think. Where would you place your stratagems on this tier list? Would